when you talk about some of the legendary composers, there's a reason why they become who they are. Beethoven, Mozart, Tchaikovsky. The word I use for Tchaikovsky's composition is quintessential. And with the serenade that he wrote for strings, it's such a celebration of life. Just beautiful music, yet a little dramatic in a few places, but mostly it's just about this life-affirming, joy that he had mixed with his own sorrow. It's all right there. Why come to the symphony but to sit there and feel something? Music is a thing that moves us. That's always the function of music, make you feel something. But if you take away the lyrics, all you've got is pure emotion in sound. And that's what Tchaikovsky's Serenade is. It's all the joy that affirms our life. And talk about life affirming, Carol Winsense is just a goddess of the flute. Talk about a person who has a joy for music that communicates in a second, and a stage presence and a statuesque beauty. Carol's a goddess. It's just that simple. I've worked with her a number of times, and it's just always been an incredible joy for me. And to some extent, she's been the flute professor at Juilliard for some years now. Almost everybody in the flute world has had contact with Carol. They've gone to one of her master classes, they've gone to one of her seminars, because she's just as active as a teacher as she is a soloist. So Carol Winsense is one of these people who it's just like, she's like a prophet of the flute, if you will. And this Lukas Foss Renaissance Concerto is a beautiful, beautiful piece written by living American composer Lukas Foss. But it's a real nod to music written before Bach. So it sounds part Renaissance, part 21st century. And it was written for Carol, and Carol just plays it magnificently well. Mozart is one of these composers who those of us who are classical musicians, I don't think it's an exaggeration at all to say we worship Mozart. It was almost, Mozart, Beethoven, Tchaikovsky, Brahms, it's almost like God was moving Mozart's pen. That with such simple means, beautiful, simple melodies, crafted magnificently in their orchestration, perfectly harmonized, in a 30-minute symphony that every note, not a single note out of place, perfect. That's the word for Mozart. And his Jupiter Symphony was the last symphonic utterance of one of the great masters. It was his last symphony. He didn't know it was going to be his last symphony. He died a few years later. But it is just utter perfection.